Baby Snapdragon started in January, and it's time to up pot these little babies to a little bit bigger cell until time to plant them out 1st of March. Like I said in my previous video, a lot of people in my area start these in the fall, get them planted out, and they're frost hardy. I did not have the opportunity to do that last year or this year, so I'm doing the same thing that worked for me last year. I'm in Northeast Texas, and we're having a heat wave, and it feels wonderful. While I started these in seed starting soil, I'm going to up pot them in potting mix, which is a little bit chunkier, but my babies have roots now and they can take a hold, as well as the potting mix will have some more nutrients in it to get them going until March. Start with your potting mix. Just like the seed starting soil, you want to wet this. You don't want it wringing wet, but you do want your potting mix to stay together so that when you put it in your cells, there actually is some moisture in there for your baby roots, because you don't want the roots to your baby plants to dry out. Bottom watering is always best. We'll put the water in the bottom tray and sit these down in here, and they will suck water up from the bottom, therefore your roots will stay hydrated. And if you're just starting a few for your cottage garden and you don't need this many, you may not want a tray this big. You may want to just get some more of these with a little bit bigger hole, because that's going to give your roots just a little bit more room to grow before you put them out, and your plants they'll be happier for it. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and this is just what's worked for me for my needs for the last couple of years. I keep having to move around the table because there's no leaves on the trees and the sun keeps peeking through. Little tip that works for me, plastic forks, because that way I can just lift these right out of here. You can see they already have roots, even as small as they are, there's already roots down to the bottom here. And since this is seed starting soil, you see how crumbly it is, and they do start to dry out. So I usually do this when they're smaller, but I was waiting on these trays to come in because I couldn't find any locally. Like this one has 3, but seed soil is so crumbly that a lot of times I'll just kind of let the soil fall off to separate them, or you could just pinch one off and discard it if you wanted to. But I mean, I've had pretty good luck at separating them. So I usually do this when they're a little bit smaller. Now you could go ahead and just seed them in these larger cells. I mean, this is just personal preference, and the amount I'm doing this works for me. I had to move for the sun again. All right, all 50 in this tray are potted up. I'll put these back indoors under the grow light to let them get taller and stockier. And I will put these out the first week of March, most likely here in my 8AB area in Northeast Texas.